Good evening. Welcome to ProPix TV. I'm James Kuzno in our studios here in Vancouver, British Columbia. Of course, we have all heard of the Chase Bank glitch. Now, of course, for anybody not aware, this is where these idiots online thought it was a glitch in the computer systems and the ATMs that if you deposit a check that you've written to yourself from your own account for a large sum of money, that it's a glitch. The system allows you to take that cash out and go spend it as you please. Of course, anybody with common sense knows that that's check fraud, kiting, and when you make the withdrawal via a wire transfer, that becomes wire fraud. Now, you've seen all of the videos online, and my question is, did this really happen at the scale that it is visually appearing as on social media? Or is Chase Bank actually really pushing this as a narrative to bring not only their brand in front of new people, but to keep everybody talking about their brand? I mean, let's face it, they are getting millions of dollars worth of exposure out there in the news media and social media. Now let's take a look. What would be the benefit for Chase Bank? Well, it's one, of course, the marketing and the brand awareness. But secondly, there are reports that the reason why people were able to take this money out was because somebody hacked into the system and overrode it so that the limits of withdrawal were removed from accounts. Now, this means that someone who normally would put a check in the ATM machine would only be able to withdraw, let's say for a round number, they put in a check worth $1,000. Now, normally they would only be allowed to take out X amount of money against that check. So, again, for example, let's say their limit was $500. So they deposit the check and it's for 1,000. They're allowed to withdraw 500. Now, what essentially is happening is the bank is trusting that your check is good and giving you a line of credit for that $500. They're saying, okay, you can have that $500. We're going to loan that to you. We're going to take that back when we get the money that comes in from that check. Now, when the check bounces, of course, the bank is now looking at you saying, okay, you deposited 1,000. We've taken 1,000 out of your account, which means you still owe us. You owe us the original $500, plus you owe service charges and NSF fees and so much more. Now, this, because you're writing the check to yourself and clearly knowing, or writing a check to somebody else, clearly knowing that you do not have the funds in the account to make that check good. You are literally bouncing that check or issuing a check of NSF or non sufficient funds. That is a crime. Now, of course, people are crying about this. Oh my gosh, how could they take the money away? I had, $5,000 in my account. I deposited a $100,000 check that bounced. Well, I took out $20,000 out of the account and now they are holding back my 5,000 that I had originally. Well, yeah, of course, they gave you credit for the amount you took out. You now owe that money to them, not to mention the criminal charges that you may be facing. Now, of course, people are crying about getting that money back, but seriously, people, did you think this was really a hack like Grand Theft Auto where you just find the magical coins and you go and you spend them and there's no ramifications? There's no paying it back. There's no, you can't have a do over. It's not a reset button on a video game. Come on, shake your head. Now, the next thing that people should really realize is that there's no real leprechauns and unicorns out there. What do these people think was going to happen? They're going to turn around and the bank's just going to go to the end of the rainbow and pull a pot of gold to cover their losses? Of course not. You're not going to go to the end of the rainbow and find the leprechaun's pot of gold and ride a unicorn back to the bank to pay them. I mean, come on now. Where did you think that this money was going to be, recovered from? Of course they're coming after you. Of course they're going to be very aggressive in going to the courts because let's face it, if they didn't act aggressively and prosecute to the fullest extent of the law, then they would have this problem just continuing on over and over for larger amounts. So they have to prosecute to send a very clear, a very strong, a very unempathetic message that says you cannot steal from the bank, you cannot take out money that you don't have, and they are going to make it very clear that they are not going to allow an excuse of ignorance. Ignorance is no excuse for the law, and if you didn't know better, you must be a 5-year old because I don't get it. But the bigger concern, of course, is now you guys are going to be going to jail. You guys are charged with bank fraud, with wire fraud, all kinds of fraud. You're not going to get a bank account anywhere. And this is going to make it tough in prison because you need that inmate account in order to buy your Debbie cakes and all of that. So think about it. You're going to have one hell of a ride ahead. It's going to be tough. And I hope that you understand the best course of action at this point is to take full responsibility. Go before the courts and throw yourself at the mercy of the courts by taking responsibility and hoping that the courts will go easier on you for accepting responsibility for your own stupidity. Now, let's go to the people that were smart enough not to fall for this. Now, if it is true that a hacker has gone in and actually removed those withdrawal limits on people's accounts, what you're not hearing about is the fact that there were hackers in their system. Did they withdraw money? Not such a big concern when it comes to the hackers, because the bigger concern is, did they copy your personal information? Did they get account information? Did they get credit card information? Did they take all of your details from the bank while they were in there hacking and taking off the withdrawal limits? This should be a bigger concern for all of the people that did not participate in the stupidity. Because let's face it, if you participated in this check fraud thinking it was a glitch in the system, chances are these people that have hacked in are not going to want to keep your details or impersonate you as a person. But it is a big risk for data security when it comes to all of the other account holders in one of the largest banks in the United States of America. They have a lot of personal details about people. They gather so much data about people, where you spend your money, what you spend your money on, how much money you have, how much credit you have, how much debt you have, how much your mortgage is. I mean, the list of information goes on and on and on. And this should be a real big concern. This is what social media and mainstream media should be focusing on. Was there indeed hacking that went on in the systems of the bank? If Chase Bank was hacked and somebody did actually remove those withdrawal limits, why are we not talking about the fact that the system was hacked and whether or not any valuable and personal information has been compromised? That's something to think about. And on that note, I will end this story and let you know once again that, of course, we bring levity to some situations, not because we think they are a joke, but it is to give you a bit of a laugh at a difficult situation, at a difficult time, and to make it a bit easier to digest the information. So with that, I created some memes about Chase Bank glitch, and I'm going to share them on the screen now that this story is over. I hope you enjoy them. Please leave your comments below. Don't forget to like, follow, and subscribe. And by all means, post in the comments where you're watching this video from. Take care, everyone. Stay safe. And hey, if it sounds too good to be true, it is. And that's all there is to it. Take care, everyone.